You know how you have a lot of things that you want to accomplish, but you don't seem to ever have enough time to do them? Stuff like making a photo book for your family, or you've been meaning to read more, or you've been meaning to see more of your friends. Maybe do some decluttering. Well, I have something that might just help with that. I had that exact same problem, and I started doing monthly goals. I would make monthly goals about things that were important but not urgent. So what I typically do is I make resolutions at the beginning of the year. Often when we make resolutions, we're making resolutions about things that we want to do that we haven't made time for. So these are a great place to start. And then I will just use it as a giant list, as something I can reference each month to try and think of different things I can work on each month. Then each month I take the chance to look at the list and to try out that month. I did this last year and it was super helpful. But as you look at your New Year's resolutions, you'll start to see that some goals that you have are more about habits, and there's other goals that you have that maybe are an accomplishment or something you're just going to do once or twice. For example, with my goals, I have a goal to go boating with our family, to go camping, things like that. Those are maybe just going to happen a few times a year. But then I have other goals like adding more yoga and stretching into my life, starting a journal. These are things that are more habits that I want to incorporate into my life. So if I have a New Year's resolution that's more of a habit, I'm going to not necessarily include that in my monthly goals. I'm going to use a different system. I use challenges. And I'll talk more about challenges in the next video if you're interested. So the point of making monthly goals is to try and incorporate some of those things that are important to you, but you just haven't been able to make time for. These are things that are important, but not urgent. In Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he talks about how you can categorize different tasks you have in your life depending on how important they are. So the categories are urgent and important not important, important but not urgent, and not important and not urgent. So here's some examples. So something urgent and important might be getting everyone fed in your family. Taking your kids to school. These are things that have to get done every day. It's important and urgent. And if they don't get done, it's going to make your life fall apart. But something that would be urgent but not important would be things like delegating, like maybe cleaning the house or editing a paper, things that don't necessarily take your personal expertise. And then not important and not urgent is stuff you already know. Stuff like scrolling on your phone, playing games, anything you do to waste time. That's stuff that's not important and not urgent, but it's still maybe consuming some of your time. It's stuff that you're doing to avoid doing some of the other things on your list. But then the part where it gets really interesting is when you talk about things that are important but not urgent. This is the stuff that you're probably making New Year's resolutions around. Stuff like going on date nights with your spouse, planning a special outing with your family, trying a new recipe, or making a photo book for your family to look at. They may not be urgent, but they would make your life so much better if you could find some time for some of these tasks. This is where I have found monthly goals to be super useful. Some of these important but not urgent tasks you can do even once, and it's going to make a big difference in your life. So I've been making these monthly goals for the last several months, and I've been able to accomplish some really cool stuff because of it. I've tackled different decluttering projects, I've organized photos, I've done more temple worship, I've eaten more fresh fruit, I've taken my kids on dates, I've changed my exercise routine, I've made posts for social media. The possibilities are endless. I actually have a playlist of all of my past monthly goals to give you some ideas if you want to get started. Now, when it comes to monthly goals, I have 2 ideas that I think would really be helpful for you if you want to try and make this part of your life. Around the internet at the beginning of the year, you're going to see people making monthly goals. And in January, they're going to go ahead and decide for the rest of the year what all of their monthly goals are going to be. Maybe they'll even give a theme for each month. Please don't do that. I mean, maybe if you have a goal that has to be done at this specific time of the year, right? Something like camping or going boating. Obviously, those need to be thought about before those months are over. So yes, you need to think about those. But don't go and plan your whole year already. You don't want to be boxed in. The point of monthly goals is that you're not stuck with the goal for the entire year. The point of a monthly goal is to give you freedom to try things out. And it also allows you to add stuff that you may have heard about that excites you that you can work on right then. Don't let today you make all of the decisions for tomorrow you, because what's going to happen is you're going to plan out your entire year, and then you're going to get to March or July or something, and you just feel like, this doesn't excite me anymore. This is not what I want to do with my time. And you're going to completely give up on all of the goals. So if you just have a list of ideas that you can reference throughout the year, that is going to be a lot more helpful than you trying to plan out your entire year when you have no idea what your year is going to look like. Because self-improvement is supposed to be fun. It's fun to try out new things, and it's exciting to add different things to your life. And it gives you motivation to try something new. So if you have all of your goals already prescribed for you, it's not going to be as exciting and you're less likely to do it. The next idea I have is to not get so caught up in your goals fitting exactly in different categories or being exactly perfect each month. You don't need to have a fitness goal every month. You don't need to have a health goal every month. It's just whatever is exciting to you that's going to motivate you to do something different. I know I've said that habits are for challenges and important but not urgent tasks are for monthly goals, but don't let that stop you. I let my monthly goals be a place where I can dream, where I can try things out, where I can experiment, where I can start somewhere. It's a starting point. It's a chance to start over every single month and try something else on. So sometimes I start habits as part of my monthly goals before I even make them part of a habit challenge that I'm trying to do. This is where I'm at with eating fresh fruits and vegetables. So a couple of months ago, I made a really silly goal, which was to just literally eat an apple, a full apple, 3 times a week. I just am not in the habit of it, and I wanted to try it out. And I learned things. I learned what things didn't work and what things I needed to do differently. And now going forward, I can make it different and make it so it will actually become part of my life as opposed to just something I do occasionally. So the point of a monthly goal is not a long-term commitment. You're not trying to overhaul your whole life. You're not trying to break up your perfect New Year's resolutions into months. You're just experimenting. You're just trying things. Your growth, your personal growth is a long game. It's not something that's going to be accomplished this year or even next year. It's not going to be accomplished this month. But the cool thing about setting goals is if you set a goal, it's going to change your behavior. And that is so exciting. This has happened to me month after month as I've made monthly goals. I've been able to accomplish things that normally I wouldn't have been able to accomplish. So don't worry about making it perfect. Just start, make goals. It changes you. It makes you better. It'll help you learn what things are working and what things you need to do differently. It's going to help you learn more about yourself and your motivation. Maybe this month you're going to work on trying to add more vegetables to your diet, and then the next month you try something with exercise and you're not doing anything with vegetables. And I know you feel like that's a disaster because I'm not continuing this for the rest of the year. That's not what it's about. It's not about adding a perfect habit every single month. It's always about trying. It's about learning, because the more you know about yourself and what works for you, the more able you are to actually do the things that are important to you. So if you feel like New Year's resolutions are too overwhelming, try something like monthly goals. If you need some more ideas on how to view New Year's resolutions differently, check out my last video. And next week I'll be talking all about habit challenges and how helpful that has been to me. So I'll talk to you next week.